So you've retired. Congratulations. No more early alarms. No more rush hour traffic. No more. What was I saying again? Oh, right, retirement. But here's the thing. Nobody really prepares you for what comes next. Sure, they tell you to save money, maybe travel a little, but what about the real stuff? The emotional roller coaster? The sudden identity crisis when you're no longer the person from accounting? The weird feeling when Wednesday feels just like Sunday? Today, we're talking about what they don't teach you about retirement until it's too late. And trust me, some of these might surprise you. Stick around. This could save you a lot of head-scratching later. Section 1. Retirement isn't just one big vacation. Retirement. For years, you picture it like a never-ending Saturday. Sleeping in, lazy breakfasts, maybe a round of golf or a stroll on the beach. No deadlines, no meetings, no boss. Just freedom. Sounds perfect, right? Well, here's the plot twist. After about 3 months, even paradise gets routine. And that's when it hits you. Wait, is this all there is? Let me tell you about a woman. Let's call her Martha. She spent 30 years as a nurse, always on her feet, always solving problems, always needed. When she retired, she thought she'd finally relax. And she did, for a while. But then she noticed something strange. Without the chaos of her job, her days started blending together. She'd wake up, drink coffee, scroll the news, and think, now what? Martha isn't alone. Studies show that a shocking number of retirees struggle with depression or anxiety in their first year. Why? Because work isn't just a paycheck. It's structure. It's purpose. It's the reason you shower before noon. And when that disappears overnight, it's like losing your life's rhythm. Suddenly, you're adrift in this vast ocean of free time, and no one warned you that too much freedom can feel lonely, even scary. Here's what they don't teach you. Retirement isn't about escaping work. It's about replacing what work gave you. The mental challenges, the social connections, the sense that you're contributing something. Without those, it's easy to feel invisible. But here's the good news. You can rebuild that structure on your own terms. Maybe it's part-time consulting in your old field. Maybe it's mentoring young people. Maybe it's finally writing that novel or learning Italian. The key is to ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? Not just busy, alive. Take Charles, for example. He was a mechanic who retired at 65 and immediately bought a fishing boat. 6 months later, he was bored out of his mind. So he started tinkering with neighbors' cars for free, just for fun. Next thing he knew, he turned his garage into a weekend workshop for local teens. Now he's the cool grandpa teaching kids about engines. And he's never been happier. That's the secret they don't tell you. Retirement isn't a finish line, it's a starting block. You get to design what comes next. But here's the catch. You've got to be intentional about it. Because nobody ever looks back and says, gee, I wish I'd watched more TV. Section 2. Your social life needs a plan too. Picture this. It's Tuesday morning. You wake up, make breakfast, check the weather, and then silence. No coworkers popping by your desk. No meetings to rush to. No office birthday cake in the break room. Just you. And maybe the TV. And let's be honest, Judge Judy's great, but she's not much of a conversationalist. Here's the hard truth nobody warns you about. Retirement can be one of the loneliest transitions of your life if you're not prepared. When you stop working, you don't just lose a job. You lose a built-in social network you've had for decades. Poof, gone overnight. Let me share another story. This one is from a retired accountant. Let's call him George. He told me that for 40 years, He had seen the same people every day. They argued about the thermostat setting, shared dumb memes, and complained about the coffee. Then he retired, and everything just stopped. His wife still had her book club, but he realized that apart from work, he hadn't made a new friend since 1992. And George is not alone. Research shows loneliness in retirees spikes dangerously in the first 2 years. It's linked to higher risks of depression, heart disease, even dementia. Scary, right? But here's the good news. This is totally preventable if you plan for it like you planned your 401k. Here's your 3-part Social Security plan. And no, I don't mean the government kind. 1. The anchor activity. Find one regular thing that gets you out of the house and around people. Could be a weekly coffee group, even if it's just McDonald's old-timers at 8 a.m. Volunteer shift. Libraries and food banks love retired pros. Fitness class. Water aerobics folks are wild, in the best way. 2. The legacy project. What knowledge can you pass on? Tutoring kids, mentoring at your old workplace, teaching a craft? When a 70-year-old woman started showing teens at the community center how to knit, she accidentally created a yarn gang. Now they text her memes about crochet hooks. 3. The newbie challenge. Make it a rule. Every month, try something where you're the clueless new person. Take a painting class where everyone's half your age. Join a pickleball league. Heck, even online gaming. I've seen retirees bond over Wii bowling like it's the Senior Olympics. The goal? Stay curious. Awkwardness is just proof you're growing. Let me tell you about someone I heard of. Let's call him Frank. He was a retired trucker who decided to step way outside his comfort zone and go to a poetry slam, something he'd never even considered before. Surprisingly, he loved it. Now he writes haikus about truck stops and performs them at open mics. His favorite goes like this: rest area coffee, worse than gas station brew, still drank 3 cups. The point is this: your social life won't rebuild itself, but with a little effort, you might just find connections richer than anything you had at the office. And honestly, that's a retirement perk worth investing in. It reminds me, there's another thing they don't teach you about retirement, and it involves your phone in a way you'd never expect. Section 3. Money is important, but it's not everything. Let's talk about the elephant in the retirement room: money. For decades, we've been bombarded with the same message. Save more, work longer, max out your 401k. And look, that's good advice. But here's what nobody says. You can have $1 million in the bank and still feel empty inside if you don't have $1 million purpose. Meet Richard. Spent 40 years carefully building his nest egg. Had spreadsheets tracking every penny. The day he retired, he treated himself to the most expensive steak dinner of his life and cried into his filet mignon. Not because he couldn't afford it, but because for the first time, he realized money couldn't buy what he really missed: the sense of being needed. This is what financial advisors never put in their brochures. Retirement isn't just an economic transition, it's an identity earthquake. That business card you carried for decades? Gone. The daily problems you solved? Someone else's now. Even if you're financially secure, that loss of purpose can hit like a ton of bricks. Here are 3 priceless things your retirement account can't buy, but you can cultivate. 1. The currency of contribution. The human brain is wired to need purpose, like it needs oxygen. When 72-year-old Linda retired from teaching, she started tutoring kids at the library for free. She jokes she's addicted to light bulb moments. That spark when someone finally gets it. That's the dopamine hit no shopping spree can match. 2. The portfolio of play. Remember how you promised yourself you'd travel? Golf? Garden? Here's the catch. Leisure loses its flavor if it's all you do. The sweet spot? Mix pleasure with purpose. Take Bob, fishes Mondays, volunteers Tuesdays, learns Italian Thursdays. His secret? I schedule fun like it's a board meeting. 3. The interest of intergenerational connections. Nothing keeps you young like being around people who think Wi-Fi is a new breakfast cereal. When retired engineer Sam started teaching robotics at the local high school, he didn't just share knowledge. He gained a whole new friend group who keep him on his toes and explain his smartphone to him. The most fulfilled retirees I've met all share one thing. They measure their wealth in stories, not just savings. The late-night conversations, the projects that make them leap out of bed, the people who'd miss them if they didn't show up. So yes, be smart with your money, but be brilliant with your time. Because at the end of the day, nobody lays on their deathbed wishing they'd squeezed in a few more hours of financial planning. But plenty wish they'd taken that trip, mended that relationship, or finally started that community garden. Speaking of money, there's one financial surprise coming in retirement that hits nearly everyone, and it's not what you'd expect. So here's the big takeaway. Retirement isn't an ending. It's a new beginning. And like any new chapter, it comes with surprises. Some wonderful, some, well, let's just say interesting. But the best part, you get to write this story. You get to decide what enough looks like, what happy feels like, and yes, how many times you'll reorganize that spice rack before admitting defeat. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Retirement isn't about what you're leaving behind. It's about what you're stepping into. And friend, that's something worth celebrating. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest surprise retirement has thrown your way? Drop a comment below, and let's keep this conversation going. And if this video helped you, hit that like button and share it with someone who might need it. After all, retirement's better when we figure it out together. Thanks for watching, and remember, the best is yet to come.